A lot of you guys requested for this gorgeous look, like drop the eyeshadow look, drop the eyeshadow look, want to learn the eyeshadow. I love the eyeshadow. Yes, I answered your request, so make sure you watch this video to the end because I made it very very detailed for you. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you, and if you're a new subscriber, you're always welcome. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button after watching this video. So first thing first, we went ahead to groom our eyebrow. You know, eyebrow is very essential in makeup, and you need to groom the eyebrow according to the person's face shape. Okay, so I went ahead to start taking off excess hair from the brow bone area, and I'm using a razor blade to achieve that. Then I went ahead to use a spoolie brush to just comb the hair upwards so I can see clearly areas where I need to take off hairs. So one thing about grooming hair, you make sure you groom these hairs to the person's exact face shape. Secondly, we went ahead to clean the face because we don't want to work on a dirty skin, because we need to get the skin clean to avoid breakouts after makeup. Okay, so I went ahead to clean her face with the Thayer's toner. It also serves as a cleaner. In fact, it deep cleans the skin. All those dirt you can't see that are hidden inside the pores, it cleans them off. And I'm in this place, I'm using what? A cotton pad to do that. So I went ahead to use moisturizer. This is all in one snail museum moisturizer. So if you're getting your moisturizer and it's not sliming this way, just know that your moisturizer is fake. Okay, I went ahead to apply with a brush, a flat brush from the Nuban Beauty brush. This brush is so fluffy and I love that for Nuban Beauty. Okay, so I give them a thumbs up for this beautiful flat brush. It's easy to blend, you know, all the corners of the faces. You can use the brush to apply and you get your blending smoothly. Okay, so I just applied with the brush and I went ahead to keep on blending, after which I went ahead to use my hand to just, you know, perfect the blending, because me, I love blending with my hands so well. So next I applied the Embryolisse primer. I love this primer so much. In fact, if you're already on my YouTube channel, you should know that this primer is my go-to. There's no day I'll make video without this primer. Any day you don't see me make video without this primer, just know that they've charmed me or they stole it from me. I'm joking, guys. So I love this primer so well. Like, it's my go-to primer, and I just applied it all of our face, like every corners of our face. I applied it under the eyes because it's creamy, like it has this moisturizing ingredient. So I am not scared because it's not really a mattifying primer, but I don't do that always. Like, I don't apply this primer under the eyes always, depending on the person's skin type. Okay, so I just applied it every part of our face today. So after using the brush to apply, I went ahead to use my hand because my hand is always perfect for blending. Me, I love using my hand. I don't know about you, but for some clients, if you're a makeup artist, make sure you clean your hands before you do that. So went in with hydrating primer from the Nuban Beauty. This hydrating primer has a glowing ingredient in it. Just watch the video and see how this primer will start glowing our skin. Like, the primer has this glow, and the glowy effect comes out after foundation. I don't know how Nuban did this thing, but it's really really good, you see. So after I applied with brush, I started seeing the glowy effect in this hydrating primer, and I was like, what is this? So this primer actually glows the skin, you know, has this glow effect that is it gives after foundation. Easy to blend, and as its name is hydrating, it also hydrates the skin. Okay, so don't waste your time, don't dull on it, just jump on this primer and thank me later. So I just went ahead to just blend with my hand, you know, just to clean it up and pat it into our skin. That was all I just did. And guys, stay into your skin, like stay into your screen. Look at the glow, you know, look at that glow it's giving. Okay, So now to hydrate our lips, I went in to use the Vaseline moisturizer to just moisturize our lip, to prepare our lip for lip stain. You need a lip to be soft before you apply lip stain, and this is one of the best way to avoid your lip from breaking after application of lip stain. So guys, look at the glow on our skin after a while. So now I went ahead to spray, like to set the product into our skin. All the products that I used, I went ahead to use the Omaricode setting spray to just set the product, and I used my beauty sponge to just pat the products into our skin, like let it melt into our skin. So this is one of the best way to achieve a flawless skin for your foundation, and make sure your skin is like this before you apply foundation. So we're going with foundation, and I'm using the Nuban Beauty foundation in shade W8. I think it's Adichie or something. It's named in an African name. Okay, guys. So I'm just using the beauty sponge to blend into our skin, to apply the foundation. I wasn't using brush today because I needed to be fast. So I just went ahead with my beauty sponge. And when applying foundation, apply one part of the face first before you go to the other part, so that before you start spreading the foundation all over her face, some parts won't be dry and the other parts will be difficult to blend. So apply one part at this point sef, it will help you to notice that, oh, this foundation is not this person's shade, and you can quickly correct it. But if you spread your foundation all over her face before you start blending, you will have issues, because the first part you applied, you haven't blended it, and it might get dry before you when go to blend it. Like before you now start blending, it might get dry, and at the end of the day you won't achieve a flawless skin. So apply one part first before you apply the other side of the face. And guys, look at the foundation sitting so pretty on our skin, well blended and all that, no issues at all. So guys, I'm giving you hot tutorial this period because I want you guys to stick to my page, to just learn new things from this page. So guys, hit the like button and give me a thumbs up for that. Then now we'll go to cream blush, and I'm using this Imagic lip palette for my cream blush. I love this cream blush. Like, I love using it as my cream blush because it's highly pigmented and it's easy to blend. You can work it around the skin without no issues, without no fears. So I went ahead to use a brush to apply first before I use a beauty blender. So I just picked the two shades, the red and the pink shade, applied on her cheek, at the tip of her nose. I really don't know why I used to apply blush at the tip of her nose. Probably there's this effect it gives after applying it, just to add colors to her face. And I went ahead to blend with my beauty sponge. So I used the same beauty blender I used to blend a foundation, but I'm using another part, like the other side of the beauty sponge, not the side I use in blending my foundation, the other side of it. Okay, if you can see from the video, I'm using the bottom of the beauty sponge to blend the cream blush. So guys, are you seeing how blending game change everything? So to get this flawless skin, one thing you should understand is your skin prep. So look at that glow that I said that primer used to give, that hydrating primer. Like, it glows the skin after you've applied foundation. Like, I don't know how Nuban Beauty did this, but I give them a thumbs up from it. So guys, please just rush to their page and go and get this product. Tell them it's me that sent you to their page to get this product from them. The hydration it gives, oh my god, I don't know how to explain this, but this video is telling it already. Look at the glow that primer gives, and since then I fell in love with this primer. So guys, so I went ahead to use the same beauty sponge, like just the bottom, to use the remnants of the blush that just to pat on our forehead, just to add colors to our face, because we are not doing too much contouring for this look. So to conceal our under eye, I went in with an hydrating concealer, also from Nuban Beauty. I love their concealer so much. Like, they are too good for Nigerian brands. Like, they are too good. So I love their concealer so much. Then I use a 2 shades lighter for concealer. So I already told you guys in my previous videos that rules for highlighting is 2 shades lighter. Then rules for contouring is 2 shades darker. So make sure that sticks to your head. Okay. So I went in with another shade of concealer which matched with her skin, because I don't want my highlight to extend to places where areas where I don't want it to extend to. And also I want it to just blend alongside with her skin, just to blend along. We need that flawless look, guys. So I just want it to blend alongside with our skin. Okay, so the highlight, that's the 2 shades lighter that I went in, will just stick around the inner corner of our eyes and will blend outside using the one that is a skin shade, because we still want to maintain its flawlessness, like let it blend into with her skin. So I went ahead to blend out the outer part of the concealer, just to blend it out, and you can see it's blending alongside with her skin. So we don't want everywhere to be too whitish and all that. So I just went ahead to blend the outer part and keep the inner corners, because we want to keep them for a while so that it can marinate into our skin and gives that full coverage. So I went ahead to just blend our forehead, blend the outer part, let it blend into our skin, so the lighter shade will not extend to areas where you don't want it to extend. And ensure that if you're blending, you have to be very soft with your hand. That is number one rule. Be soft with your hand. Don't be too hard on the skin. For crying out loud, it's a skin and not an iron. Okay, so just be careful and be soft. So I used the another side of the beauty blender, which is the tip of the beauty blender, so that I can go into the tiny corners, like those deep corners that the fat area of the beauty blender can go into. So I just use the tip of the beauty blender to just blend the concealer. So now I'll go ahead to start blending inside the corners of our eyes, and I'll just keep my hand there and just blend it, so that it can just sink into our skin. Our skin can absorb the concealer. So guys, if you're enjoying this video and you love my tutorial, please don't forget to hit the like button, drop beautiful comments, like a meaningful comment. If you have anything you want to ask me or any questions, just drop it in the comment section and I'll be ready to answer you. So guys, I've finished blending the concealer and you can see how flawless it's looking. So ensure you use this method. If you can still this method, you can just still use it and you will see how it will change your makeup game. So now I'm going to be applying powder all over our face, and I'm using this Milani powder with a fluffy brush. So I just went ahead to pat it into our skin. It's a skin shade powder, and I just applied in the areas where I did not highlight. So the powder is serving as a skin shade powder. It's a perfect skin shade powder. So you just apply it in the areas where you did not highlight, because we'll be applying a lighter shade of powder for where we applied concealers. Okay, so I just make sure I blend the powders off, and I'm just using a fluffy brush to work it round our skin, just to keep that place good and smooth. So now we'll go ahead to apply powder under our eyes, and I used my beauty blender to blend under the eyes first. Just blend it before you go ahead to apply powder, because you don't want any creasing under the eye. You don't want those creases that are under the eye. So ensure you blend the concealers first. Make sure you blend them before you apply powder. and apply one side of the face first before you go to the other. So I just applied areas where I highlighted with a fluffy brush, a small precise brush, to just, you know, blend and dry up the concealer before we go into setting. So I'll be blending the under eyes of the second part before I apply powder, and I just blended, and now I'll be applying the powder under our eyes, to avoid those creases, guys. So ensure you blend well. You can apply till you're satisfied, and also don't forget the bridge of our nose. Just apply powder around the areas where you've already highlighted. So applying powder until the concealer is dried, because most times I even use powder to cover my, like, I prefer more of powders than foundations or highlights, because if you're using a good powder, it will give you that full coverage. So just keep applying powder till the concealer is dried before you now start doing other things, okay? So now I'll be applying the powder blush, and I'm using this CPD powder blush. I just picked the orange shade and the pink shade, and I'm using a brush from MK Beauty brush set. This is their bridal set. It's a good brush, but the brushes there are just, I think they're not more than 10 brushes in the bridal set. Are they even up to 10? I'm not sure, either 10 or so. There are 10 brushes in the bridal set. So I just picked one of the powder brush, and I use it to apply blush, because the powder brush isn't big enough, but it's okay. So I just use that to apply the powder brush on her cheekbone, you know, to add colors to her face, to warm up the face also, to give this beauty sha. So you just work it around our skin and ensure you blend properly. So to further blend the blush, like let it diffuse into our skin, I'm using the Nuban Beauty Mineralized Powder, and I went ahead to just apply the powder to remove harsh lines, to diffuse the blush into our skin, to make it give that skin like look, like let it be flawless and all that. So you just need to blend it out to take off harsh lines before you now go ahead to set our skin. So for before I set, I went ahead to use this my powder from MAC Cosmetics. It's the Studio Fix powder, to just further blend the under eyes before I go in with setting powder, because once you apply setting powder on the under eyes that has creases, that creases won't leave. So setting powder has a way of mattifying that area. So I just went ahead to just contour our nose first, and I'm using a dark shade from the Becharme powder palette, just to contour our nose before I go ahead to set. So to set the under eye, I'm using the Almighty Merake setting powder in shade Ginger. You know, guys, how much I love this setting powder a lot. So I first of all apply the setting powder, reduce the excess at the back of my palm before I take it to the skin, so we don't have that what's it called, that too many setting powder, like we want to lay a foundation for baking. So first off, pick up the setting powder, reduce the excess under the skin before you go ahead and apply on our face. Okay, so I'll just be applying it in areas where I highlighted, our chin, our under eyes, the bridge of our nose, all the areas where I highlighted. I'll just be doing the same method to it, like reduce the excess before I go into our face. So this way it will help me to blend easily, and it will also dry up the concealers before I now start applying again, like I now start building the concealer, like sorry, I now start building the setting powder. Okay, so to give that full coverage, I have to just apply gradually, and it will also avoid that cakiness under the eyes. Before I learned this method, I usually apply concealer and go ahead to bake. But I found out that my makeup was looking something else. Like under the eyes was always cakey and cracky. I just had to learn and just change my method of application, and this really helped me. So I went back um to further contour her nose, like apply contour to her nose, because now we want to snatch her nose and also bake her face. So I'll just be applying enough setting powder, because I already dry up the concealer when I set the face. So there are three ways to do this. The first one is presetting, when I use powder like normal face powder to preset her face. Then I went ahead to set, and this is the third stage, which is baking. So this process will help you take off this baking powder easily, without any stress, without any crack on the skin. So this method is something that you should go with, apply with, and see how your makeup is going to be looking different and flawless. Okay, so I just snatched her nose with the same powder, with the same setting powder, and applied a lot of setting powder at this point, because this setting powder will help me to hold eyeshadow fallouts. Like when they fall on our skin, I can easily take them off because they are falling on the setting powder. So I just applied another setting powder because I want to go into the eyeshadow, and I want the eyeshadow to fall on this. So for my eyeshadow base, I use the Ben 9 Clone White eyeshadow base. So a lot of people have been complaining that this eyeshadow base, they use it and their eyeshadow still break. My dear, it is your application. The way you apply things matters a lot. So at first it happened to me, I won't deny that fact, but when I learned another method of application, it started working for me. So for this eyeshadow base, you just apply very little first. You build it. You don't apply eyeshadow base once and apply eyeshadow on it. So many of you guys have been asking me to teach you how to apply eyeshadow and eyeshadow pigment. So this video is what you should watch and listen carefully. So apply a very little amount of this eyeshadow base and blend. Then you can go back to your eyeshadow base and reapply again, then blend. Ensure that you don't apply this base once. Just apply little by little till you get the coverage you want. So I started with this brown shade for a transition shade, and I picked the eyeshadow from the Morphe eyeshadow palette, the 350 eyeshadow palette. I picked a brown shade and I just work it around that crease area, to serve as a transition shade. So you can use a powder to serve as your transition shade, or you can use an eyeshadow, whichever one you want to use. Okay, but I usually like my transition shade to match with the person's skin shade. There's a look it gives differently. So I went ahead to just further blend the other side of her face, like the other side of her eyes. So I just kept reapplying till I got the satisfaction I want and the coverage I want. Then I went in with this Luzta eyeshadow pigment. You know, after I've done the other eyes, because I did a previous look before, like a comparison look. So I did the other eye. So now this is the eyeshadow tutorial you guys have been seeking for. So after using the transition shade, I went ahead to apply this pigment from Luzta cosmetic eyeshadow palette. It's a pigment that's in form of eyeshadow palette. So I applied the blue shade and just use a flat brush to apply it on my eyeshadow base on her eyelid. So I went back to the brown shade I used. No, I went back with a darker brown shade and I work it round the crease area, like to blend the blue eyeshadow. So I kept on repeating the process till I get what I want, like the result I want to achieve, until that ash line was taken off. So I went in to smoke the eyes, and I'm using this black eyeshadow from the Zikel Rios Eyeshadow Palette, and I used a different brush to apply that. So I just applied that at the outer corner of her eyes, and I worked it round to the inner corner of her eyes, to just smoke it out, to give that smoky look. So you keep repeating this process until you achieve what you want. Okay, so I just went ahead and keep repeating the process. Then I went back to the brown shade. I went back to the brown shade to just further blend it again. So I just went ahead to just keep repeating the process, going back and forth, the black, the brown, the black, the brown, till I get the coverage I want, and the blending I want, like the result I want. So I will just keep going back and forth. I don't want the black to extend to our brow bone. I will still use the brown to just reduce the depth of the brown. Okay. And this is the eyeshadow, guys. I still went ahead to use my brown, to just blend around the edges and take off the black if it's going to, and around the outer corner of our eyes, you know. So you just keep repeating the process, okay, guys? So after blending, I went in with the blue eyeshadow, like the blue pigment, and I just placed it on top where the blue is, because our blending has reduced the effect of the blue, like the color. So you just go back and reapply the blue and let it pop out again. So for eyeliner, I went in with the Karite gel liner. This is my favorite gel liner, and it's affordable. It's beginner friendly, it's affordable, and it gives what I want, it gives the result I want. So I'll just hold the eyelid and line, and I'm using a small angle brush to line. So if you're drawing a line on someone's skin, on someone's eyes, ensure you gently hold their eyes before you line. So for the water line, I repeated the same thing. I just held down the under eye gently, and I lined quickly before she start tearing up. So I just extended the eyeliner outside, the under eye, I extended it out, and I kept lining till I achieved the result I desire. So one thing about this gel liner is that it's not just affordable, it's pigmented. Like, it's the black is black, it's pigmented, and it's easy to apply. It does not wash off even when you're sweating, that you start seeing line, like that effect of, I don't know how to call it, when liners are dirtying the face. Should I use that word? They start washing off from the face. No, this one sticks to the eyes despite your sweating. So I just went ahead to hold down our under eyes and just drag the line out the outer corner. So I went ahead to just repeat the process. To give that sharp edges at the corner of the eyes, I went in to use my concealer, and I used a skin shade of concealer. If the foundation you used is still remaining, you can also use the skin shade foundation, like the exact skin shade foundation you use. You can also use that to cut the edges, like to give that sharp edges. So I went ahead to blend with a beauty sponge, and after applying with the concealer, I will use the beauty sponge to blend it before it gets dry. So at this point, you don't even wait for it to dry, because there's already a dry surface when applying this concealer. So you don't have to wait for it to dry. What you should do is, immediately after you've lined, you blend out immediately. So I used my beauty sponge to just blend it out. Then I went in with powder, because you're repeating the process. Like, after foundation, you highlight, you now apply powder. So I went ahead to use powder to dry up the concealer before I now went in with a setting powder. To tame the eyebrow, I'm using this brow tamer from Nuban Beauty, but I already made a full video of this brow tutorial, of which I won't be showing in this video, but I will drop the card at the right corner of your screen so you can go back to watch. Then for eyelashes, you guys still requested for a video on how to apply eyelash. So you apply a glue on your eyelash. For this video, I used the Liner glue and I applied on the eyelash. Then I'll be placing the eyelash on our real lashes. Many of you guys place eyelash on the eyelid. No, I just use my two and extend the eyes, then press it down on top of our real lash, like I'm placing it on top of our real lash, because this is a false lashes. So you just place it on the real lash, and later you use your finger to press the real lash and the false lash together. So that is how I apply eyelash. Then we'll go ahead to clean our lips, to take off the moisturizer on our lips, because we'll be doing the lip stain. So I used my wipe and just clean her lips, take off the moisturizer, and for to line her lip, I'm using the Karite gel liner, the brown shade that I use for my eyebrow, and I applied with a flat brush, and I use that to line her lip. So I'm lining her lip with this brown shade to start off with her lip, and ensure you line properly. Okay, so ensure you line properly and blend at the same time. So you don't want to be waiting for this one, because it might get dry since you're using a gel liner. So just blend at the same time you're lining. Okay, so I'll just go ahead to repeat the same thing at the lower lip, just line and blend at the same time as I'm lining. So I'll just keep lining and blending at the same time. So after blending, I went ahead to use the Imagic lip palette, and I picked this dark pink shade and a lighter pink shade, and I'm using the stick of my brush to apply. Then after smacking, I still applied again till I get the full coverage of what I want. So you tell them to smack their lips, and they have to be very fast. You reapply again, like you keep building. Don't apply lip stain once, because those are the things that makes your lip crack before the person even gets to where he or she is going to. So just keep applying, apply gradually, apply little, then you build. This will help you retain your lip stain. It will keep your lip stain till the next day if possible. Okay, so it will, that's what I mean, it will make your lip stain last long on the lip. So after that, after smacking, I went ahead to further blend the edges, because we want to keep the lip clean and well blended. So I just blend out the edges, let it blend with the brown shade. Just keep blending, and you blend softly till you are satisfied. So I just went ahead to take off the excess powder and the eyeshadow fallout from our skin, while I allow my lip stain to just wait for a while before I go ahead and apply lip gloss. I just finished up makeup with this finishing powder, the MAC powder in shade dark, and I applied at the areas where I highlighted using the small precise brush for that. So I just went ahead to just blended the powder in to further smoothen the skin, you know, just to blend areas where I highlighted and make the skin smooth and flawless. So after the blending, to melt all this process in, like all the products in, I went ahead to set a face, and I used the Omaricode setting spray to do that, to achieve that. So I just spread out the setting spray all over her face and covered her eyes, because I don't want the setting spray to reduce the pigment on the eyes. So this is the spray I use, the Omaricode skin make spray. So after spraying that, I went in with my beauty sponge just to blend the spray into our skin, you know, for the makeup to absorb the spray. And so I allowed my spray to dry on her face before I went in with the Serum mascara to lengthen her under eye, just to drag the under eye out and make it visible. This process also helps to clean up powders on the lashes, like to take off powders that are on the lashes, hence it will make it visible. So now I'll be applying lip gloss, and I'm applying lip gloss from, I think this is Classic or Becharme, either Classic or Becharme. I'm sorry I didn't show it on the camera. So either Classic or Becharme lip gloss was what I used, and I used the stick of my brush to just apply around our lips because the lip stain has dried. So I went ahead to pick this. Okay, it was Becharme I used. So because I used the same lip gloss to apply glow on the face, just apply little on your hand, use your beauty sponge to pat, like to dab it into our skin. Please ensure you apply little, not too much. And guys, this is the final look. I know you enjoyed this video. I don't need to ask you if you enjoyed it. So please ensure you like this video, drop beautiful comments. After seeing this beautiful look that I taught you, drop beautiful comments. Okay, like this video and share to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye, see you in my next video.